Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel, where we keep you updated on the latest weather events and what they mean for your daily life. Today is November 14th, 2025, and France is about to experience a dramatic shift in weather. If you've been enjoying the mild autumn so far, it's time to prepare for a major change, because a powerful cold front is on its way. Get ready to bundle up. An intense blast of polar air is about to sweep across the country. Temperatures are set to drop sharply, and the wind chill will make it feel even colder than the thermometer shows. This isn't just a typical cold snap, it's a true polar plunge, bringing the first significant snow of the season, even to some low-lying areas that rarely see flakes this early. Roads could become slippery, and travel may be disrupted in some regions. The cold will arrive in two phases. First, a preview in the east, with temperatures dropping, and the first snowflakes falling, followed by a stronger, more widespread wave that will sweep across the entire country, reaching even the Atlantic coast. This dramatic weather is all thanks to a piece of the polar vortex breaking away from the Arctic and heading south. The polar vortex is a large area of low pressure and cold air surrounding the North Pole, and when it weakens, frigid air can spill down into Europe. A high-pressure system over Greenland is acting like a wall, redirecting this frigid air straight toward Europe and funneling it directly into France. This rare setup is what's making this cold snap so intense and widespread. As this cold, dry air collides with warmer, moist air from the Atlantic, snow is likely to develop, especially in central and northern regions. Some areas could see several centimeters of accumulation, making for a wintry landscape overnight. The mild autumn is ending abruptly. Winter is making an early entrance. Trees still holding on to their autumn leaves may soon be dusted with snow, creating beautiful but slippery scenes across the countryside. In the next sections, we'll break down what the polar vortex is, how it forms, and why it sometimes sends icy blasts our way. We'll also look at the timing of these cold waves, so you can plan ahead and know when to expect the chilliest days and nights. Plus, we'll show you where snow is most likely to fall, from the mountains to the plains, and which regions should prepare for the heaviest accumulations. We'll also cover just how cold it will get, with some areas expected to see temperatures plunge well below zero, especially overnight. Frost and ice could become a daily challenge. And of course, we'll share practical tips to stay safe and warm, like how to dress in layers, protect your home from freezing pipes, and keep your pets comfortable during the coldest days. Whether you're commuting to work, sending kids to school, or just heading out for groceries, we'll help you get ready for whatever winter throws your way. Let's dive into the science behind this big chill and see what's in store for France in the coming days. Stay tuned as we track this dramatic weather shift and bring you the latest updates on this early arrival of winter. Let's demystify the polar vortex, a term that often pops up in winter headlines but is rarely explained in detail. What exactly is this mysterious force that can send temperatures plummeting and transform entire regions into icy landscapes overnight? Imagine a gigantic pool of ultra-cold, dense air swirling high above the Arctic, encircled by a powerful river of fast-moving air called the jet stream. This jet stream acts like a barrier, keeping the coldest air locked up near the pole, far from the rest of us. But sometimes, the jet stream weakens or becomes wavy, almost like a spinning top that starts to wobble. When this happens, pieces of that frigid air can break away from the main vortex and spill southward, bringing sudden and severe cold snaps to places that are usually much milder. Right now, that's exactly what's unfolding. A lobe of the polar vortex is being nudged toward Europe, thanks to a stubborn high-pressure system parked over Greenland. And this high-pressure system acts like a wall, redirecting the cold air mass and steering it straight toward the continent. It's important to remember the polar vortex isn't a giant ice tornado or a storm you can see on the horizon. Instead, it's a surge of dense frigid air that silently invades, sweeping across the land and transforming the weather in its path. As this Arctic air arrives, temperatures can drop dramatically in just a matter of hours. The mercury plunges, and the risk of heavy snowfall and icy conditions rises sharply, catching many off guard. France in particular is about to feel the full force of this Arctic blast. Cities and towns that rarely see such extreme cold will soon be blanketed in snow and ice, creating scenes more typical of Scandinavia than Western Europe. The polar vortex is actually a normal part of our planet's climate system. It forms every winter, but when it shifts or weakens, it can unleash dramatic and sometimes dangerous weather far from its usual home. In the coming week, the science behind the headlines will become reality for millions. The cold won't just be a number on a weather map, it will be something you feel in your bones as icy winds whip through city streets and countryside alike. So, get ready for a direct delivery of Arctic air, straight from the top of the world to your doorstep. This is not just another winter chill, it's a true polar plunge. The polar plunge is coming, and it's all about to unfold in real time. The next few days will test our resilience and remind us of nature's power. Stay with us as we track the polar vortex's impact, following its path and explaining what it means for you and your community. The weather is about to get very interesting, so bundle up, stay informed, and prepare for a winter event you won't soon forget. The cold arrives in 2 acts, starting Monday, November 17th. As the new week begins, a dramatic shift in the weather is set to unfold across France, catching many off guard after a relatively mild autumn. The first signs of this change are already visible on the horizon, with meteorologists tracking a significant cold front barreling in from the north. The first wave is a preview, mainly chilling eastern France, especially the Grand Est region and mountain ranges like the Vosges, Jura, and Alps. These areas will be the first to feel the bite of winter, as cold air sweeps in and settles over the landscape. The higher elevations are particularly vulnerable, with the crisp mountain air intensifying the chill and setting the stage for the season's first snowfalls. Expect a sharp drop in temperatures, with mornings and nights feeling especially wintry. Residents will wake to frosted windows and see their breath in the air, a stark contrast to the milder days just past. Even in the cities, the cold will be unmistakable, prompting people to reach for scarves, gloves, and heavier coats. Higher elevations will see the first snow, while lower areas might get a surprise dusting if conditions are right. The sight of snowflakes drifting down onto rooftops and fields will mark the true arrival of winter for many, transforming familiar landscapes into a wintry wonderland overnight. This is due to the isothermal effect. Heavy precipitation can cool the air enough for snow, even if it's just above freezing. When rain turns to snow, it's a sign that the atmosphere is rapidly losing heat, and this phenomenon can lead to unexpected snowfalls in places that might otherwise have stayed wet but snow-free. Most of France will just notice a chill, but the east gets the first real taste of winter. While western regions may only need to bundle up a bit more, the eastern departments will be plunged into a much deeper cold, with the landscape and daily routines quickly adapting to the new reality. This initial wave sets the stage for the main event. The atmosphere is shifting, and the country is bracing for what's to come. The clouds gathering overhead are a clear signal that the weather is about to take a more dramatic turn. It cools the air mass, priming the country for even colder conditions to follow. The chill in the air is more than just a fleeting discomfort, it's a sign that the groundwork is being laid for a much more intense cold snap, one that could bring widespread frost and even more snow. Think of it as the opening act before the real winter drama begins. The landscape is being transformed, and the anticipation is building as everyone wonders just how cold and snowy the coming days will be. The pattern is shifting fast. Get ready for what's next. Now is the time to prepare. Check your heating, bring out your winter gear, and keep an eye on the latest forecasts, as conditions can change rapidly. The real cold is just days away. This is only the beginning, and the most intense part of the cold snap is still on the horizon, promising even lower temperatures and more challenging conditions. Stay alert as the week unfolds. With winter's arrival accelerating, it's important to stay informed and ready for whatever the weather may bring. The next chapter of this cold spell is just around the corner. The second wave hits midweek starting Wednesday, November 19th. This is the core of the polar air, much colder and more widespread. Surface temperatures will hover around or below freezing, even in the plains. Snow becomes likely across central, northern, and eastern France, including Burgundy and possibly Paris. Daytime highs will barely rise above freezing, and the cold will be persistent. This is the true arrival of winter, ending autumn's mild spell abruptly. The second wave is the main event. Expect biting cold and widespread snow chances. Winter is here, and it's making a statement. Will it snow? Yes, but where and how much depends on the cold wave. The first wave brings snow mainly to the Alps, Pyrenees, Massif Central, Jura, and Vosges. Some lowland areas in the Grand Est could see a dusting Monday night. The second wave, from Wednesday onward, brings a real chance of snow to central and eastern France. Burgundy is a hot spot. Northern regions like Hauts-de-France and Normandy could also see flakes, especially overnight. In the south, a Mediterranean depression could trigger heavy snow, where cold and moist air collide, but this is less certain. The exact track of storms will determine who gets rain, mix, or snow. Stay tuned for updates as the forecast evolves. This cold snap is all about plunging temperatures. By midweek, highs in northern, central and eastern France will struggle above 2 or 3 degrees Celsius. In snowy areas, temperatures may stay below freezing all day. Nights will be even colder, with lows dropping to -3 to -6 degrees, or lower in rural spots. Fresh snow will make nights even chillier and roads icy. The wind chill will make it feel even colder. Cover exposed skin to avoid frostbite. This is the first major cold spell of the season, and it's arriving fast. Our bodies aren't acclimated yet, so the chill will feel extra sharp. Prepare for a sudden, deep freeze. Winter is arriving ahead of schedule. How do we know this cold is coming? Weather models. Supercomputers crunch billions of data points to simulate the atmosphere. Right now, all major models, American and European, agree a major polar air mass is on the way. This consensus gives meteorologists high confidence in the forecast. There are some differences in snow predictions, especially for central France, but all models point to a deep freeze. The hardest part to predict is exactly where snow will fall, but the cold is certain. Science is helping us prepare for what's ahead. Stay tuned as we fine-tune the details. The message is clear. Get ready for a major chill. With the cold coming, preparation is key. Dress in layers. Several light layers insulate better than one heavy coat. Make sure your outer layer is windproof and waterproof, and don't forget hats, gloves, and scarves. Check your heating and insulate exposed pipes to prevent freezing. Look out for elderly neighbors and family. If you must drive, prepare your car for winter and keep an emergency kit inside. Roads will be icy. Drive slowly and leave extra space. Cold weather strains the heart, so take breaks if working outside. Stay hydrated and enjoy warm drinks. A little preparation goes a long way. Stay safe and comfortable. In summary, France faces a dramatic weather shift next week. A piece of the polar vortex is bringing a true polar plunge, with 2 waves of cold and the first real snow of the season. Expect temperatures to drop sharply, with widespread frost and hazardous conditions. Prepare your home, car, and wardrobe for winter's early arrival. Snow is likely, especially in the east and central regions. Burgundy is on alert. Stay updated with local forecasts as details evolve. Winter is arriving early. Be ready, stay warm, and enjoy the science in action. Thanks for watching, and stay safe through the big chill.